No Bwipos quotes. Just fucking dropped. Fly Bwipos. C95 owes us in scrims and goes to get Korean barbecue. Korean fucking barbecue. Like, hello? How can I even focus? C95 owes us in scrims and goes to get fucking Korean barbecue. Like, hello? How can I even focus? I can hear his voice, by the way, say this. We didn't even get Korean barbecue with 3-0 team on stage. The amount of mental hoops these teams go through just to try and pretend like they are equals and whatever is just crazy. How do you feel about the series? Good, bad, ugly. My games are free, so I don't know what to tell you. I had no doubt in my mind that the enemy Nexus was going to explode when I played, so I was feeling good. Hey. Thoughts on Gakpo's performance? He wasn't in the position he was supposed to have, but still. He was a bit of a passenger at that game. I think obviously it wasn't an easy game to play Rumble in. I think he just didn't have the foresight to go for a more beefy Rumble build. I think when Merkters into Yakshun was a tanky Rumble, I think it would have been pretty effective against the Annie Aurora Lucian. Because those characters usually can't really kill beefy characters that well. He would have been able to make a bit more space for his team with that kind of a build. I think he didn't have the foresight to build it. I think the game was in free win spot, then went through at Baron, lost Baron, the game was hard. But I think ultimately the draft itself, Rumble was not exactly a character that can carry the game through the traditional upper side lanes. I'm stronger, I walk up, fight someone type of carry. He's more like team fight happens, good situation occurs, I did a shitload of fucking damage. The Atakan situation pretty much carried by himself. They all jumped on him, killed the 2 or 3 people, basically put into 1 HP, secured Atakan for the team. I think he had moments, definitely, I think there's room for improvement, but ultimately, they were just not the discussion about putting him in. I think they just decided to put him in because all the meta characters that he plays very well are all open and have history of not really playing Gwen and Abessa. Let's just reveal, let's put everything out there, bro. Let's put everything out there. So basically, they thought they were going to be red side. And red side, you can pick Gwen or Ambessa on 3 and find a good angle. But they were sent on blue. They expected basically the enemy Shopify Rebellion to pick blue side after losing the first game, but they didn't. They put him on blue, and Rumble is a stronger blind. And do you see those two styles as a distinction between you and Gakos being strong on the side versus being team fight glue, who helps the team win? No, I think it needs to be able to do what I do because that's actually the hard part. I think that when your teammates are creating space for you as top lane, you can roll in and kill everyone with a champion. Ambessa, whatever it is, and you're just getting carried. That's how I think. Ultimately, top lane is the strongest characters on the map. You need to be able to be the first man in. You may die, and that is not a problem. You got to do the most damage when you're the one basically creating the fight around you. I think that's a skill in playing top lane. I think it's really important trait to have as a top laner because I think ultimately you're the role that has the capacity to do more than any other role, whether you're playing Sion, whether you're playing Ambessa, Gwen, it doesn't matter. I think ultimately he does really well on Ambessa and Gwen, and these are the characters that he should be playing on stage. We ended up blinding Rumble. I think we should just play Gwen on Ambessa blind and just let him play into Rumble if need be. That is my opinion. People have said you guys FF scrims fast. The most said on pros that the cracks in mental and trust are showing. Thoughts? I'm inclined to agree in some ways. I think that ultimately we hold ourselves to a higher standard than other teams in LTA. When I think the game is very difficult to play or losing, we aren't going to mess around, pretend like the enemy team is trash at the game and can't end, which is the reality half of the time. That's what most of the LTA teams are doing. I don't think what to tell you. Get good. That's kind of crazy, bro. Just play out the games, no? Like you are not gonna play out the games because you think that the enemies you will only win because if they are bad. That's fucking crazy, brother. That is a crazy way to view it. I think that's why people think that we have weak mental and a preparation to sport. I think that any team and every team in the LTA, I'll say this very clear so everyone understands. We have the strongest mental and try the fucking hardest when it comes to winning a lost game on stage. Now that's kind of cope. It's not that I don't believe them. I do think that they try to win when they have losing games because they do. But maybe the thought process is to rob the enemy of that practice as well because that's what you kind of do. I think the argument for why you should like leave games that are winnable doesn't make any sense unless you implicitly are like, okay, let's not give them a chance to practice because we are gonna do this good anyway. And that's maybe with the position you're in, you can do that. If you want to judge us how we perform on screen, that's fine. We'll see you on stage. Apparently, cracks were not showing at all. Apparently, you get 3-0 pretty much. I mean, sure, it was 3-1, but you get forward. Basically, in my book, even when we played our sub, I don't know what to tell you. You can cope as much as you want, but this is the reality. Bomba clatted. That makes sense. Like game 2 against Tio, you would need to practice with that situation in scrims, right? You gotta have creativity. You gotta have creativity. You gotta have viciousness. You got to know your character well. We're not going to practice the same situation. Like I'm playing Singe, the Ziggs face checking, sitting in the red buff bush, and then me flashing over the wall, me going for the large flank. This is not something you need to practice in your scrim. You know that you can't do this, so you don't know. You can play 100 skin. If you never thought about doing that, you're not going to just magically just wake up and think about it in your scrim. Well, bro, Bwipos is in a weird pocket. He's in a weird pocket. You don't. All right, I think Bwipos went down a weird and dark timeline, bro. Bro, practicing scrims is useful, bro. Doesn't mean you're practicing for the exact situation. You're practicing to be flexible. You know, this is, bro. This is a Bwipos rabbit hole. He's thinking out loud right here. This is what Bwipos does. He thinks out loud. My homie Bwipos, he thinks out loud. You can play 100 scrims and never thought about doing. So it's like if you play scrims and you're bad, you're not gonna do it on stage. But yeah, if you could play scrims and get better. We're not here to waste our time. We're not here to play games so the other teams can feel better. I'll give an example. C9 5 also scrims goes to get Korean fucking barbecue. Like, hello. So basically, Dom told me that they pre-booked the Korean barbecue and they went to eat there because he was in town. What is this league, bro? Like, are you guys even trying? How can you even focus when you're celebrating winning a 5-0 scrim day? We don't even get Korean barbecue for 3-0ing. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. The amount of mental hoops these teams go through just trying to pretend like they're equals or whatever is just crazy. To be fair, like attacking a team for eating Korean barbecue, I think that's you inflating your own ego. But at the same time, having big ego is perfectly fine if you can if you're winning, you know. So that's fair play, you know, fair play. Bwipos thrives with big ego. That's just who he is. I'm saying all this talk is making us even better. That's all I'm saying. I think if they just shut the fuck up, play their own game, try the best with drafts and they're good at it, it's not a problem. But yeah, if you're locking game 4, you load in, you give me some first pick and lock in now, you're gonna go home. I love it. This was written in the stones. The funniest thing is, bro, they locked in now today and lost. That's fucking hilarious. This was written in the stones, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Like, let's focus on making sure we actually prepare for the team we're playing and stop focusing about our mentals, yeah? I play real League of Legends. But what I saw today was just completely uninspiring. I don't know what to tell you. The other part was the other players who aren't carrying like inspired and Busio, are weaker or being left to the side. They've whopped the team around themselves. Don't let anyone else carry. What? What the fuck? What does that even mean? What is this question? How is inspired and Busio not carrying, bro? Like they are carrying the game. Like they are the best performers on the team. Like what the fuck are we talking about? Today, for example, the enemy team kept clicking on me when I was picked characters and couldn't kill, so they couldn't win because my super in jungle was just having a free game every time they used to attack me. You can either be the guy to get paid to people to gank you, and then you give an opportunity to the rest of your team, which I think the junglers super use extremely well. They play very well individually. Quad made Palafox is complete bitch. It was unplayable mid. I couldn't believe what was happening with. Every time I looked at mid, Palafox couldn't breathe. So it was just like complete free win every game because the enemy had to use so much resources to try and help him. And when they did, our jungle super have tempo and they can't make a good play. That's how it works. He won player of the series. Good, yeah, he deserves it. Because I think he played extremely well today and think that's what I'm saying. Most teams there will use jungle super to stop Quad from doing that. Today's series, well, we can't because we're playing against Flykos. If super in jungle have tempo, bro. Alexa, turn on the office lights. Okay, thank you, Alexa. That reminds me of T1. Dora and Fake are probably the goats of baiting plays on silence, letting the jungle support run the map. How much does Fly learn from those teams right now? Genji and T1 play the best of 5 weekly. Coaching staff, at least 5 out of 7 pieces had their cities open when I come into the office the next morning. So I would say quite a bit. We have discussions, all right? Any good luck message Cena for 100 Thieves? I mean, I would have laughed my ass off if they lost to DSG. If they lose to 100 Thieves, it would still be funny, but not as funny. Any message for the haters? You can pray on our downfall. I don't mind. I think we do, to be honest with you. The biggest confirming is that we haven't had a real loss in a while now. I think C9 is the best equipped to beat us. These are having a resurgence. That's what made League of Legends so exciting. All right. All right. I'm going to Dallas either way, as far as I'm understanding, because it's a separate tournament. It's only finals weekend of the cross-corner stage. Also, you have to leave. I'm in trouble for taking too long in the interview. Well, one last question. So next best of 5, if we win it, we play one best of 5 in the studio. All right. If you win next week, you're first seed from LTA and guaranteed Worlds plus Dallas, and you need to play 2 or 3 more BO5s after next week. Bro, Bwipos doesn't even understand the format. God bless him. Let's take a look at the draft, guys.
Entirely. Yeah,
I love it. Bwipos just, bro, you can just listen to Bwipos forever, bro. Love me some Bwip. It was speaking wild though. I swear, you know, in these moments when Bwip was wilding out, you know, you just have to. You can ask another question because he's so good at just speaking his thought process. He speaks his thought process, and if you aren't like listening and tuning in carefully, you're not gonna be able to dissect it, you know, because he's just fucking his thoughts just come out real time, boom, 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 boom. His thoughts really come out real time, you know.
With their gear on the line.
Does Doklu just blind pick Gwen here as well, and they can just get all the band champions at once?
I think that might be the play.
Oh damn! Pantheon, Gwen, Yone, 1, 2, 3.
I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Bomba
right?
clot,
have
bro.
got to have a real plan against this
Damn.
because you are kind of essentially letting them blind
All
pick
right.
their first 3 on blue side in a game 5, right? Like these.